Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Gurunatha and today in this video we will see a live example of how to extract the data from the multiple Excel files and load that data to the SQL Server Data Table. Yes friends, so this is the example which we are going to see live here in this video. And data extraction we will achieve by using the Excel source component, and for reading the multiple Excel files we will use the Foreach loop container. So without wasting any time further, let's start our live program. So for that I have opened up my package here. As you can see, this is my SSIS package and this is my SSIS toolbox. So quickly I'm going to drag and drop a data flow task here. Yes, so before I start doing the program, let me just show you my Excel file here. So that is my bulk Excel files. As you can see here, I have the two Excel files here. So this is my book one and here is the data, as you can see, with the column names as customer ID, customer name, product purchase and so on. So this is the 5 records I have in my book1.excel, and here is my book2.excel, as you can see that. So here I have another 5 records here. Yes, so now quickly let's go to our database design structure. So for that, let me open up my SQL Server Management Studio. So there you go friends. So these are the columns which are there in my database table. So as you can see, and let me also show you my source columns also. So there you go. So you can see that we have customer name, product purchase, quantity, amount, purchase date, and here we have some additional columns like USD amount, customer type, discounted amount, discounted percentage. So here in this program we are not only going to extract the data, but also we will do some kind of transformation. So we will do some currency transformation and we will also define the customer type depending on the product purchase. So this purchase, this amount, and we will also define the discounted percentage amount also. So all these columns we will derive in the transformation part, and finally we will load the complete transformed data into the data warehouse, and this we will do for the bulk Excel files, not for the single files. So now that you have understood the complete processing of a program, now let's go to our Visual Studio 2019 and let's start executing the program. So for that, let's go to our Visual Studio. So there you go. So before processing of the data flow task, I want to execute the SQL task here. Why? Because if any data is already there in the table, so it will truncate it. So I want to write the truncate statement here. So let me just double click on it and configure it. So there you go. So I will say connection. So my connection is already there. So let me write the SQL statement here. So I want to truncate. So I am writing the truncate statement here. So truncate table. Yes. So there you go. Yeah. So what we will do now, we will first create the ETL program for single Excel file. So once that is done, then we will go for the multiple Excel files or bulk Excel files. So without wasting any time further, let's go to our data flow task and let's try to configure a single Excel source file extraction, transformation and loading. Because transformation we have to do as per this data table design. So as you can see here, and we have the source columns also here. So let's try to configure the ETL program for a single Excel source by creating the complete transformation according to this table design. Okay, so let's go here. And yes, we will use the Excel source as our component. So there you go. So let me just double click on the Excel source component for configuration. So I will say, so there you go. So here I am going to say new connection, so browse. So from here I am going to select any one Excel file only. So I am going to select book 2 for now, and my version is 2016. So I will say 2016. I will say OK. So my data is there in the sheet 1. So sheet 1 is there, and let's do the preview. As you can see, the 5 records has been appeared here. I will say close. I will say OK. Everything looks perfect. So there you go. So my Excel source configuration has been done now. Now it's time to do the transformation. So let's first do the data type transformation, because our data table design having some data types here, that is integer and varchar, money, and so on. So let's do the data type transformation. So I will go here and drag and drop the data conversion here. So there you go. Let's connect, double click. So this will be our 4-byte signed integer. So here I'm going to say int customer ID. So this is 50, because our n varchar is 50 here, as you can see. So here this will be like customer name. Same way the product purchase 50. Quantity again 4-byte signed integer. Amount, remember this is currency. So I will say CY product amount, and here I am going to select my data type as currency here. So I'll scroll down, purchase date looks perfect, no need to change this. I will say OK. So there you go, we are done. Now let's go and derive a column for USD amount here. Okay, so let's do that by using the component called derived column. And here let's also do the customer name transformation to uppercase, just like that. Yeah, so there you go. So here I'm going to write upper. So this is the string function. So I will just drag and drop. There you go. You see, if you want to see the string function, so here we have the upper as a function. So inside the string functions, and now let's define the USD amount. So here I will say 73. So here I'm considering one USD dollar as 73 rupees. Okay, so this I'm going to say a column name as U customer name, and this is my USD amount. There you go, done. Okay, now it's time to go and define the customer type. So how to define the customer type? Based on the purchase amount, that is the product amount, as you can see here. So let's define that. So we will use the conditional split component here, because to derive the condition here, because the condition is based on the purchase amount. So let's do that. So for the same, I'm going to drag and drop the conditional split component here. So here I'm going to say gold customer if the amount, the purchase amount, product amount is greater than 50,000, and silver customer if the amount is greater than 20,000 and product amount has to be less than 50,000, because we have already derived one condition above for gold customer. So now the third, bronze So this will be like less than 20,000. So I'll say okay here. Now it's time to derive a new columns here for discounted amount and discounted percentage, because as per the customer type we need to give the percentage discount also, and also we need to calculate that. So for the same I am going to derive one more column here by using the derived column here. So there you go. So let me just pull it off for gold customer. So double click. So this will be like discount amount. So here I want to give for gold customer 50%. So I will say product amount into 0.5. Okay. And customer type as gold customer. Okay. And discount percentage is 50%. There you go, done. Okay, now the same way we can rename this to gold customer. Now let's define same for the silver. So let's rename it silver customer. So double click and let's make it this as 30%, and this will be like silver, this will be like 30. Okay, and let's define same for the bronze one. Let's rename it there you go. So let's give 10%. So we are done now. So now as you can see we have the three derived columns here, one for the gold, silver and bronze, right? And each derived column has got the output here, as you can see the blue arrow, right? Now as you can see that we have completed the program, means the extraction part is done, the transformation we done, that is the data type transformation, and we also derived the column, right? And depending on the condition we have derived the data, that is gold, silver and bronze, and we have also derived the columns for customer type and discounted amount and discounted percentage and so on. Okay, now it's time to load the data to the destination. So let me just drag and drop the SSIS ADO.NET destination component. If you see here, if I try to input this data, it will accept. But if I try to input the second customer data of silver one, you can see we got this error, that is operation failure, as you can see that. So a destination component cannot take multiple inputs, but our scenario is that we got the multiple outputs there from the derived column. So how to do that? So it's very simple. Let's go to the SSIS toolbox and drag and drop the UnionAll, which takes multiple inputs and make it to the single output. So this is what a UnionAll component does. So let's use that. So you can see that we can connect the multiple inputs to the UnionAll. So yes, let's configure it. So there you go, customer type, done. Yes, now here we got the single output, as you can see that. So all the multiple outputs from the derived column has converted into the single output by using the UnionAll component. So let's use that now to ADO.NET destination. Let's double click on it, connection new, Okay, and now let's do the mapping. So in customer ID, customer name, so this will be like you customer name, product purchase, quantity, USD amount, purchase date, customer type, percentage amount, done. So there you go. So now it's time to run the package. Let's go and run. So before we start, let me just make this as startup object because we have the two package here. So let me just say run start. So there you go. So our package has ran successfully, as you can see that. Yes. So I'll stop this. Let's go here and let me just check whether we got the data or not. So there you go. The 5 records came successfully. Yes. As you can see that we have successfully executed the package for the single Excel file. Now let's go to our Visual Studio 2019 and let's do it for bulk files now. As you can see that we have successfully extracted the data, transformed the data, and then loaded the data to the SQL Data Warehouse. Yes, now this is for the single source. Now let's do it for the multiple source, that is the multiple Excel files. So how to do that? Let's go to our control flow and let's first delete this arrow and let's drag and drop the for each loop container. Yes. Let me take that data flow inside the for each loop. Yes. And now let's create a variable called Excel path or full path, I can say Excel full path. There you go. The data type is string. So why I have created this variable? I have created this variable just because to make it dynamic, to read the Excel file names dynamically by using this variable name. Okay, so that is the reason I have created this Excel full path. So let's close this. Yes. Now let's connect this to the for each loop. Now let me just configure this for each loop. So yes, collections. So this is like file enumerator. So let me go here and let me say browse. Let me go to the E drive. So bulk Excel files. Yes. There you go. Variable mapping. Okay. So here we go. Let's go to the connection manager here and let's make this as dynamic now, because you can see that it is hard coded here, that is book2.excel, right? Now let's make this as dynamic by using that variable now, because so when the loop continues here in the for each loop, as you can see that whatever the files inside the bulk Excel file folder, it will take everything here, as you can see that, right? And whatever the file names are there, that will be assigned to the variable mappings here, that is the Excel full path. And that variable, whatever the file name is having, that we will take to the data flow here and assign it to the Excel source component here dynamically. So how to do that? So let me say properties here. So here you can see it is hard coded now. So what I will do to make it dynamic, I'm going to take the help of expression. So here I'm going to say Excel path. So this is the variable I'm using. I will say okay. Yes, there you go. You can see the error, but don't worry, we can manage with that error also by making it delay validation. See, there is no problem with our configuration. It's just that the SSIS package is showing that we have some errors, before validation, before running the package. So that we will update it to the delay validation and set it to true here. Okay. So there you go. It's done. Save. Now let me execute our package, and you can see how the data is getting extracted from the multiple Excel files and loading it to the data warehouse table. Okay. Before execution, what I will do, I will put a breakpoint here so that you can see our variable live, how that variable is assigning dynamically with the file name. So I wanted to show you that. So that's why I'm giving this breakpoint as on pre-execute. So there you go. Let me just start the package now. You can see a Excel full path variable below here. So let me say continue. You can see now the Excel full path variable is having the book1.excel. So let me continue. So that is done. Now the variable is having book2.excel. So I will say continue. So there you go. So package execution is done. Let me just stop this and let me just show you the table here. So there you go. So as you can see friends, we have successfully executed the package and we have successfully extracted the data from the multiple Excel file and loaded that data into the data warehouse table. So hope you like this video. If you really like this video, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. And thank you very much for watching this video.